Hello chaps, it's day 34 in the broken Bow PBEM turnlock, and we had to restart the game because we broke our game when we tried to mod it for single player, not for multiplayer, and then we had to reinstall it, and then we forgot to install a patch that fixes the show scene bug. So halfway through our turn, it ran into that, so we had to restart. So we're playing this from the start, which is better actually because I get to show you everything from, you know, how it looks to me. Yeah, and by the way, I'm taking a different hay fever med, which makes me feel extremely strange. Loratadine is a peculiar substance, it would appear. The orcs, as you surely recall from the previous video, eradicated our southeastern army. Especially the orcish leader was powerful, so now they're taking our farms. They're advancing upon us. Also, the fact that we're allied to the undead and no, we're not allied, we're at peace with them, and at war with two neutral races means our own neutral races are a bit upset at us. Normally they can tolerate the evil of the Dark Elves, but we're being really evil by declaring war on neutral races and peace with the undead who are pure evil. However, which is why this little town rebelled against us. Oh no, that's actually an elven... Yes, but anyway. Here you can see that the Azracs are displeased with us, which is bad because they're some of our big cities. We have some Azrac troops. Fortunately, the Azrac leader is now at peace with us. Oh goodness, too many things are happening at once. I'll have to go back and talk about those. Right, so we no longer have morale issues. The Frostlings and the Azracs are once more reconciled to our rule. Partly that's because we put some walls up on some Azrac and Frostling towns. And building walls around a town makes the citizens feel like you're taking care of them, and therefore that entire race likes you better. Which is the only reason I did it. Anyway, what else did we see? We saw some giants. That's good. We can pick these people off for experience for our leader. They've come out by themselves instead of coming out in a big mass. As for the orcs, I'm sure that the orcish leader is right here because I already looked at them last turn. I mean, I moved that guy the wrong way. I have to move him again now. Right. Now this time I'm going to do myself the favour of taking a screenshot of his abilities. He has leadership. That's a useful ability. That's very powerful if you have mass cavalry or mass elephants. He has parry. He has wall climbing, which is very important, but not wall crushing. He has spellcasting 1. So he is powerful, but not too powerful. I have plans to restore my own leader's strength, to raise my own leader's martial prowess up to the standard currently occupied by the orcish leader, and most likely the Frostling one as well. So the orcs are going to come down here. The orcs have a nice big army here. I can't fight it. They're going to either go down this way and take these towns, or go through here and take these towns, or go through here and this cave and take this town, and there won't be much I can do about it. However, I think they'll only have the strength to do one of those things at a time, which is very fortunate. Also, I'm fighting against two people. The orcs have a fairly decently sized kingdom and a strong leader. The Frostlings have a decent sized kingdom over here, which is funny because I've demolished their rule over here, but they've got all this that they've conquered. So I may be the biggest power in this region, but I'm fighting against two lesser powers. So I don't actually have an advantage. However, the fact that I seem the most powerful is a diplomatic disadvantage, because it means that the Highman ruler, the Highman player up here, is going to wait and see. If I do too well, he's going to declare war on me. If I start losing, he might declare war on the Frostlings, or he might declare war on me to try and snap up these border territories. In which case, you know, if I lose territory to all three of these enemies as they all declare war on me, and while they're at peace with each other for the time being, I might have to retreat down here, and I would occupy this little area down here. And in fact, I'd probably conquer the halflings as a response. I'd retreat all the way into this little peninsula, although I would certainly put up a fight to try and save this town, because it's so highly upgraded, it's very valuable. Finally, we can do ourselves and our peace of mind a massive favour. We can wipe out this Frostling watchtower, which was being very irritating. Now they can no longer see. Scouting and knowledge are power. Scouting and mobility are more important than strength on any given battlefield. So it's very nice to get rid of that tower peeking at us from the back lines. I'm sure if we'd left it standing, it would have come back to bite us eventually. Anyhow, I believe that from this point on we just find highman structures, and we're not at war with them currently, so that means we're basically finished up here. And I did bring an army with me here. I would not be surprised if the Frostlings had something hidden up here. I'm going to leave a nice little Dark Elf garrison in this town, just in case they have something to surprise me with. I wonder if I should produce shamans. Are they strong? The problem is that in a battle, an archer and a shaman they're as durable as each other, and they have attacks which are roughly as strong as each other. On the other hand, Frostbolts, it generally does less damage than archery, but because it's one shot instead of two shots. But it has more accuracy. It can freeze people, but I don't think that's hugely important. But the accuracy is good, especially against super units, such as giants or enemy leaders. So we are actually going to train some Frostling Shamans in this town. And I think they'll spawn on this hex and not that one, so we're going to leave these Dark Elves in that hex for the sake of convenience. Now, we very foolishly didn't have enough troops in this town, so it rebelled against us because it could. So, hopefully this is merely an opportunity for us to get some easy experience for our troops. If I suffer any casualties in this battle, it's because I'm an incompetent baboon. It would be nice to have a nice little silver medal on my orc swordsman. Normally I focus on getting medals on my archers. Oh, and there's a nice little trick you can do in some battles, which is if you walk right up to the wall, it allows you to shoot over the wall. I think that's a brilliant feature, and we're going to try it out today, over here. Oh my, this loratadine is quite something. Interesting. It's having an interesting effect on my mental state. Nothing like a good bit of hay fever to influence one's psychological situation. Maybe it's actually not my fault for being an incompetent baboon if I suffer casualties in this battle. Maybe it's actually the fault of the loratadine. I like that idea much better. Go on. Why won't you die? There we go. That's more like it. Fortunately, this is only an elf swordsman. Most swordsmen have 3 damage, but elf swordsmen only have 2. Same with the dark elf swordsmen, making them some of the most utterly garbo troops in the whole game. Although elf swordsmen do have forestry, and they do have a superior attack score of 5 instead of 4, so they're actually not bad at all. It's the dark elf swordsmen with their 4 attack and no forestry that are total bollocks. Now this elephant killed this archer, but he didn't level up, which means he's currently on 1 experience point. Oh, we can actually check it. So we're going to try to give that... Oh, well... See, that's 2 damage versus 4. Orc swordsmen are very good. They're strong. They're beefy. Realistically though, if you're strong, you should also be good at being an archer, because you can just get a gigantic big dick longbow and shoot the shit out of people. In my little fantasy setting, which I write as a hobby, I, at the advice of a reasonably civilized and intelligent friend of mine, I made orcs the best archers. And I made elves a bunch of fat, balding weirdos, because that was just more interesting. Oh, and the reason I didn't discuss this before moving my troops here is because I've seen this all before, when I played this turn, before it Balliwell went and crashed on me. Now, because I moved these troops over out here, it's very fortunate that my reinforcements were close enough, by the way, to get here. Because I'm moving all my troops up here, I can't get them back in to the garrison in time. So I can't really leave a small garrison here, because the Frostlings might have some... they could have some giants here. And I don't want to... giants can just power through city walls. So once this fight happens... And the fight went much better the first time. Oh well. What are we going to do? Can we finish that guy off? We can't. Oh yes we can, that's very nice. We can actually just go and finish him off. What a cuck. Goodbye. Good riddance. So that was nice. We just killed 16 troops for the cost of 4. Very, very efficient. We're doing extremely well against the Frostlings. We've taken all of this land. All of this land on the screen right now used to be held by the Frostlings, apart from that little windmill. All of that used to be held by the Frostlings. This little area here was Frostling, and we're going to capture this too. The fact that they have all these lizardman archers suggests that they have more than just this town. They also have some more lizardman towns up here. And I think I'm slurring my words because of the Loratadine. It's not actually unpleasant. Some hay fever meds make me feel utterly garbo and moronic, but this Loratadine... yes, it's not bad at all. So now obviously I don't want to move these troops back into this garrison, or these troops. I want to use these guys because they're slow. It's going to take them ages to catch up. These guys are going to get a bit further on the road, so we're going to use them. We're going to use the slowest, furthest back troops as the sit-at-home garrison losers. Imagine being in a garrison unit while everyone else just goes off to war to slaughter people. How sad is that? You know, my dad and uncle were warriors. They were in a war. They were fighting in the Rhodesian Bush War. And my dad was in an elite commando unit. He was a paratrooper. And he used to go around slaughtering these gooks easily. And they had a 1,000-to-1 kill-death ratio. And they had brilliant medical care. So he had a great time. Every time he slaughtered a bunch of gooks, and there were all these spooks and Negroes lying around in pools of their own blood on the battlefield, he'd say, "What a pleasure." He'd go and walk up to one of the corpses of these black communist bastards, these black bastards, and he'd say, "Oh, what a pleasure." And another guy, another whitey, warrior for apartheid. It wasn't really apartheid, it was something slightly different to apartheid in Rhodesia. Significantly different, actually. It was... that's kind of a bit of a complicated subject for an Age of Wonders computer game video, so I won't describe it in great detail now. What am I... oh god, this loratadine is fucking me in the mental equivalent of an anus right now, I think. Maybe I'm just being an idiot and trying to be funny for no reason. Basically, we're losing territory in the south to the Orcs. We're gaining territory against the Lizardmen, especially since we just killed their relief army. We already surprised them and killed one of their armies here, but killing their relief army is very nice. One thing I'm kind of disturbed about is, where's their troops here? They must have something hidden in the forest or walking up here or something. They can't just... I don't know what they're doing, which is a bad thing. Also, they still have that Elven Ranger lurking in the trees. Fortunately, Elven Rangers don't have wall climbing, so this is the only town they can really take, which is why I have 4 Dark Elves garrisoned in it. Which is irritating, because I only want to have 3. I want the newly trained ones to leave. Except that they can't leave in groups of less than 3, because they'll get splatted by an Elven Forest Ranger, so I'm going to collate the newly trained Dark Elves in this town until they're in large enough groups to walk around safely, and then they can go. Honestly, it's like children on a school trip. Only walk around the castle in groups of 2 because there might be a paedophile elf ranger lurking in the forest. Like, look at you, you're the best archers in Athla, and you're hiding from paedophiles. What is wrong with you? Anyway, we can't defend this goblin town from the Orcs. They have a nice little 24 stack with some powerful troops like elephants. Oh, and the Dark Elf, the Orcish leader has leadership, which increases your attack value of all troops in that stack by 1. And that's very useful for troops which are strong in general, but have a weak attack stack, such as elephants. So he has 7 elephants and an Orc leader. It's very good. I think we can try to defend this town. We're going to move all of our troops into this town, and then we still won't have the troops to defend it, actually, but we can think about that later. For now, we're going to collate them into this town, and depending on what the Orcs do, we'll either retreat into this... We could actually move them through the cave system up here, or we can try to defend that 4-hex Dark Elf town under here, or we can try to move here. The thing is, we never actually upgraded any of our towns. The only upgraded towns we have are up here, which is under no threat whatsoever, which is nice. Because I'm in a situation where the Orcs are going to dumpster me, and when the Frostling leader and his main army finally returns with the few giants he still has, which I think he has 4. I never killed a single giant. He has 4 giants on the field. He's probably going to dumpster me too. But it's okay, I have so many towns I can afford to lose some, which is wonderful news. Oh, I feel exhausted. Now, last turn, or whenever it was, we suffered a humiliating defeat, and a demon slaughtered loads of troops. Because on that occasion, we only had 3 archers and some swordsmen. And the swordsmen weren't really any use because they couldn't help their fellows, and they just got picked apart and killed one by one after all of the archers were dead. And another thing was, we didn't move our archers around correctly. So they were getting in each other's way, they were standing in the way of each other's arrows. These pillars completely block arrows. They look like thin pillars, but they totally block arrows if you try to fire past them. Like, look at this. That's 100% block chance. So we cannot, and you see how there's a row of pillars here? We cannot advance down here where there's only room to have 1 archer at a time. That's not good enough. We have to advance through the centre of the room. And with 7 archers... So here's the thing. If the demon kills 1 archer per turn, and you have 2 archers in total, that means he has to endure 2 sets of archery shots, and then 1 set of archery shots, which adds up to 3. If you have 4 archers, then he has to endure 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, Actually, it's not. He usually kills one on the first round before they get a chance to react. So it's more like 3, 2, 1. So 4 archers has a strength of 6. 5 archers has a strength of 10. 7 archers has a strength of 21. So it scales. It actually scales with. It's a triangle number, and it basically scales with the square power of the number of archers you have. So there is a vast difference between bringing along 2 archers and bringing along 7. It's going to more than make up for the fact that he actually got silver medal. He killed so many of our troops. He got 6 experience points, and he's a silver medal, which is going to buff his attack and defense stats even more, which is a problem, but not an insuperable one. Insuperable is a nice word. A nice archaic English word. I love that word. Maybe I should take loratadine every time I make a video. I think it's hilarious. I don't know if you guys do. Undead archers aren't really as valuable as the rest of our archers, so we're going to send him in first. Oh, and he's just going to react by killing a Dark Elf archer first. Because he's intelligent. He knows that he has more to fear from a Dark Elf skilled, accurate archery than he does from an undead bowman. However, we're just mowing this guy down. This is great. Oh my goodness, please tell me I'll kill him in this round. Oh my word. Why? Just die. Why won't you die? Congratulations, you fucking dipshits, missing all of your arrows. Now you just got this guy killed. Look at that pool of blood. That's your fault, you fucking dipshits. I hope you're ashamed of yourselves and your incompetence. It's actually my incompetence for feeding the demon a silver medal. Anyway, this fight is actually very important for the future of our entire empire. With a bit of luck, we're going to scavenge some valuable loot for our leader. Maybe even some experience too, from killing the from killing the whatever the fuck this is. Some mummy, I think. Finally, so this turn we started it out at 7 defense. We leveled up. We put both of our skill points into defense to get it to 9, and we got some armor to put it up another 2 to 10, and we got Unholy Champion, which increases our attack and damage against good units by 2. Giants are morally good, and we got +2 damage. We still cannot fight the Orcish leader. We're kind of on par with the Orcish leader. Actually, we're better. We move faster. We're hasted, but we cannot fight him, and he has wall climbing. We have wall crushing. Wall crushing is a little bit better than wall climbing, but not much. And we both have plenty of elephants too, anyway. So I would say the main difference is that he's stronger in a given fight because he has 9 attack or something, and we only have 5 attack. But we're going to change that. We're going to get higher attack. And then we're going to be stronger than once that happens. I think our plan against the orcs is not to fight them. We just can't fight them. We're going to continue retreating from them until we have another army assembled. Our plan is to... Our plan right now is we're doing okay against the Frostlings, but not great, because their main army and leader still hasn't showed up yet. And when the Frostlings' main army and leader show up, they're going to wreak havoc, I'm sure. They're going to put us in the dumpster pretty thoroughly. I'm quite certain of that. Which is nice that we have a backup army here. So our main plans for the future, how do we get strong? We're at the stage where spamming loads of level 1 archers is still useful, but it's not game winning anymore, because the archers get outmaneuvered on the strategic map by cavalry and by... They can kill cavalry, but they get outmaneuvered a little bit. And most importantly, by leaders. It's day 34, everyone has a strong leader now, except for me. My leader is still only mediocre. So we want to finally ethnically cleanse these dwarves, turn them into dark elves, install a Dark Elf Executioner and start training Dark Elf Executioners in this town. Which is a heavy cavalry unit. It's an elite knightly cavalry with life stealing, with 7 attack, which is good. And we can cast Unholy Champion on them if they don't get it inherently. I'm not sure if they do. And that'll bring their attack up to 9 against good units. Oh, but the enemy heroes aren't actually good, so that's not going to be very useful. Oh well. It would be useful against the Highmen though. Basically that's our 2 plans for strength in the future. In the medium term we hold out by having loads of cities and spamming loads of archers. And by the time that falls off and becomes useless, we will hopefully have a strong hero leader. Maybe even this guy. Maybe we can get this guy to be strong eventually. Not anytime soon, but eventually. So yeah, the next thing that we're going to do with our newly well-equipped hero is we're going to clean up these rebels. Splat! You're dead. Just admit it. See, he's not even trying to fight me. He's trying to fight that undead archer. No luck. Splat. 1 hit. Did you like my new fancy club? You idiot. It's nice to get some big juicy experience for a change. We ran out of neutrals to attack in this game pretty early on. And that's part of why we fell off. The Frostlings took these 2 places. And our leader just wasn't very useful. In fact, our leader fought a big battle here and got hugely injured. She was on 2 HP. It took her ages to heal, and by the time she was healed, our normal armies had already killed everything. We do need to be careful around this giant though. Has 6 attacks, so that means it has a 10% chance to hit our leader. And with each given, we have 8 HP. So this battle should be fine, but what we don't want to do is get hit by a hurled boulder before we actually reach the... Oh, we can just do this. We can just zoom towards him. God, if I lose this battle, I'm an idiot. Splat! You're dead. That is great. That's a nice little 3 experience for us. Didn't we start this turn on 45 experience, and now we're already close to level 5? This is much more like it. You know, if I was foolhardy, we should actually think about fighting even more. We need to keep pressing. We need to keep farming experience off these halflings. That was great. You know, for a long time the halflings have been sitting down here. Oh my goodness, they have so many troops with huge stacks of troops, but then they sent us out a little donation there. That was very nice of them. Spellcasting 3. It's really sad how this game makes maxing defense on your hero and then just slaughtering everything so much better than just getting spellcasting. I'm a map maker. I make custom maps for this game occasionally. I haven't made that many so far, but I'm going to continue making some. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to give everyone only 2 heroes at the start of the game. I'm going to disbar them from ever getting more heroes. And I'm going to make those heroes level 25, but with bad stats, bad combat stats. Or maybe good attack, good damage, good HP, but not good defense. So they won't be able to trawl through an infinite number of troops. They'll be an elite cavalry hero unit who can kill maybe 1 enemy. Even a dragon. They can kill a dragon, but they cannot kill 20 archers or something crazy like that. And they can't kill 20 cavalry, because the way you do that is that you max out your defense to crazy levels, so that low level troops basically never hit you unless they get really lucky. And it's just cheap. It's cheap, and it's boring, and the game would be much better without it. We do need to cancel these productions, since we are certain that the orcs are going to capture them. And now that we're losing troops and gaining territory, we have a bit more disposable income. Is that a gold medal darter? That's nice. That's really nice to have silver medal. Poison darts are great. 3 shots. Poison darts are just a brilliant ability. There's a lot of typical archers in this game, like Azrak, Frostling, human archers, which are completely boring. They're just fire arrows. Elven and Dark Elven archers are more accurate and more damaging, so they're good. Halflings hold stones. They have halfling slingers. And halfling slingers are brilliant. They have 4 attacks instead of 2. And goblin darters poison their enemies and they have 3 attacks instead of 2, but they do less damage, like the slingers, per shot. So they're good. I wish I had more goblins. Why do I only have... I only have 1 town of goblins. I can't let the goblins be exterminated or lost to me. I'm gonna... Even though it's going to take longer, I'm going to turn this town into a goblin town so that I have some darters. I love darters. Looks like this turn is finally... This turn is finally winding down a little bit. And another thing I wanted to do is upgrade this town. But it looks like I'm not going to be able to do that for a little while. I just don't have the money. Maybe I should train more... I have wall crushing on my hero, which is pretty useful. Maybe I should train lizardman archers over there. What's going on? Yeah, I think that's basically the end of this turn. Let's have a look at our realm. So 814 to 545. Let's divide that all by 5, roughly speaking. It's 162 versus 109. 162 versus 109. Let's divide that by 3. If you divide that by 3, you get 54 versus 36. And if you divide that by 3 again, you get 18 versus 12. So currently our spending is actually only 66% of our income. At one point our upkeep on units was 80% of our income. Then it dropped to 72%, and now it's only 66%. What a blessed relief. Anyway, that is the end of the turn. The orcs are going to have some good times against us, the halflings aren't. The frostlings are going to show up unexpectedly and rape us, I'm sure. But maybe we'll discover a whole new world up here. So that was quite a satisfying turn. I was a bit depressed about this game when the orcs dumpstered us. I thought, oh my god, it's another unbeatable Mimo hero. There's nothing I can do. I'm just going to get dumpstered. But my own hero is going to catch up. And I have some other things I can do. It's not all bad. See you next time.